What's up, YouTubers? Your boy, Alyx, man, and this is my Impact Wrestling review. I want to apologize for this one being a little late. No excuse. I was very busy this week, so that's kind of an excuse. I mean, my career is pretty important, but at the same time, I could have put this out a little bit earlier than this. So I apologize. And some of you TNA fans, see, he doesn't care about TNA. Alyx, man, is trying to rip on TNA. He doesn't care enough to put out reviews early. If this was WWE, he would have already done it. Although my Raw review was late too. So I'm just off this week. I apologize, guys. I'll do better next week. Anyways, this is my NYC Tapings Night number 3 review. And this was Destination X, I believe. And you know what? Out of all the shows we've gotten so far, this episode was the type of show I expected TNA to put on for the NYC Tapings. Hell, I'll say it like this. This is the type of show that I expect out of TNA on a regular basis. This was a damn good episode. And again, it's not one of these WWE standards and TNA standards way down here. It's a good episode for TNA. No. On comparison with the WWE, this was a good wrestling TV show. Period. That is the best compliment I can give to TNA right now. Especially when you consider the situation they're in right now with Spike TV and their TV deal possibly not being renewed. You know, I've heard the whole idea that they're in negotiations still. Although that came from someone in TNA, which at this point, do you really trust TNA at this point? They lied about Vince Russo. You think they're not lying about this? Just saying. But look, it doesn't matter, okay? Whether they stay with Spike TV, whether they get another TV deal, that's another conversation. I don't care about that. What I care right now is when I watch Impact next week, the week after that, am I going to get a good show? And I got one. So I'm happy. The only bad part about this show is everything involving Dixie Carter, EC3, her Dixieland stable, and the stuff with Ray, Dreamer, and Devon. All those segments, it was stupid. All it was them setting up a match for next week. And apparently that's when Dixie gets put through a table. And that's not spoilers because they told us that. No, literally. They told us that at the end of the show. They showed some type of hype video telling us that Dixie Carter gets put through a table. So, spoilers? What the hell? Obviously, it wasn't interesting enough to have your fans salivate for it and have them wait for it. Nope. We just have to tell them about it. So, stupid. I hate it. I don't like this whole rehashing of the ECW from the 90s and bringing in tired out WWE guys. It's one of those things that I just wish TNA would get away from. I'm happy they backed off on it from this week and that helped it be a good show, but why even go there? Get rid of it. Just stop. I'll get more into this after my review because we had a lot of good wrestling action on this show. We had the Wolves, David Richards and Eddie Edwards taking on the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt. And even in the condition they are right now, being much older and their bodies breaking down, Matt and Jeff can still go, man. They were out there putting on a really good match with Davey and Eddie. I can't say much more about that. Both teams got to shine. They had some really good moments. There was like a German suplex into a roll-up pin. I think that was done by the Wolves. We had a double stomp series. I think it was Matt, and then it was Eddie who came off hitting Matt in the back of his neck. He fell down, and then Davey did another double stomp to his chest. That looked nice. You got the poetry in motion. All the Hardy Boys trademark stuff. The Swanton Bomb. I think it was like a double scar. The submission move that Matt does where he double underhooks your arms, and then he falls back. Is that called the scar, right? I don't know what he calls it now, but he did that, and Jeff did it too, and it looked really cool. And it felt very competitive. Really good action. It didn't feel scripted. I like it when matches feel like it can go either way, and at any time we can have a winner. And this felt like that. I really liked the ending with the whole powerbomb backstabber. That is an awesome tag team finisher. So yeah, the Wolves win, and they come out looking much better than what they looked like before they went into this match. They came out looking like a legit tag team. My only issue is that I think they're going to have another match with them next week. If they do, cool. I don't know what it is with them, but I hope that we get these guys some legit competitors. Because if we don't find these guys more tag teams to help feature them as, you know, a good tag team, and I'm talking about the Wolves, what's the point? You can have the best tag team in the world, but if they don't have competitors, why even care? And somebody might say Bram and Magnus, I guess, but let's be real. Bram and Magnus compared to these guys, it's nothing. The Hardy Boys versus the Wolves is more of something I want to see. But Bram and Magnus, they're still trying to be a tag team. I don't really, and maybe it's just me because I don't watch TNA all that much. They don't feel like a tag team to me yet. Maybe over time. And some of you might be saying, but the X-Man Magnus looks strong in this one. I think most of the fans are just happy that Magnus isn't being booked to look like crap like he did when he was champion earlier this year. One of the worst championship runs that I have seen. He looked like a punk. And I think most of you are just happy he's being booked decently. He's not being booked as weak. But I'm sorry, that doesn't make for a good tag team to me. I'm happy Magnus is being booked well too. Well, decently well. But I'm sorry, when it goes from Hardys and Wolves back to Bram and Magnus and Wolves, it feels like a step down. And I'm not saying Magnus and Bram don't have good chemistry. It's there, but it's nothing special. And I'm not saying it can't get better. If it gets better, sweet. I look forward to it. And I hope they actually start gelling as a tag team. But as of right now, the Wolves need someone better than Bram and Magnus. We need some legit tag teams. Otherwise, what's the point? What was the point of them looking good with the Hardy Boys if they're not going to have anybody to face? What are we going to do with them? Put them back in the X Division? Don't do that. You have a really good tag team here. Get them some opponents. Get them some teams. You know? That's all I'm saying. We had some other stuff in the night, of course. We had qualifying matches for the X Division title. That's going to lead into a finals match next week, I'm assuming. But we had 3 of them. Low-Key, Zima Ion, and Manic was the first one. Sonata, Brian Cage, and Crazy Steve was the second one. And the third one was Samoa Joe, Tigre Uno, and Homicide. All 3 of these, matches were great. All 3 of them. They felt old school TNA. They felt golden age TNA-ish. 2006, 2005-ish. I really enjoyed it. And see, these matches are reasons to watch TNA. These are the matches I got into TNA with. None of this hokey dokey, you need star power. Oh, you need people from WWE and ECW and WCW. Ah! Screw all of that. Get rid of that. I wish TNA would flip on this mentality that the WWE has. You need star power. You need a certain look. You need muscles. And I think part of that comes from not just from the people they put in charge, but also us as fans as well. We put that pressure on TNA. You guys need more star power. Why can't they create their own star power? You know, I understand putting a Bully Ray and Devon and other former WWE talents in there for drawing new eyes and stuff like that. But if you're going to keep them, you need something fresh. And again, I'll get more into this afterwards. But that's something to keep you watching. But yeah, like I said, all these matches are great. My favorite one? I don't know. Shoot. I'm going to go with the first one. because I love Low-Ki. Low-Ki is my guy, man. I am still mad that the WWE got rid of him because they had nothing for him. BS. And I think TNA, if they're going to survive this whole deal, maybe they do get another TV deal. They should keep Low-Ki. Don't bring him in for a short time and get rid of him. No, make him a mainstay on your roster. Because Low-Ki, to me, will do wonders for TNA. He will, because he is a great talent that I will happily watch on a weekly basis. He could be the face of your X Division, if you make him. But yeah, that was my favorite. If I had to pick a second one, Samoa Joe, Tigre Uno, and Homicide. Good to see Homicide back. That's another one, man. LAX. There's a tag team right there. I would like to see Homicide and Supermax Hernandez take on the Wolves. That's a nice feud. You can actually do that. Think about it, TNA. Seriously. But good to see him back. Really good match. And the second one, like I said, it's not a bad match. It was good, just like the other two. I just couldn't get into some of them. I'm not really a fan of Sonata being a heel. It makes no sense. It doesn't. And apparently James Storm is now his mentor, or his mouthpiece. What's the point? I mean, I guess I see where they're going with it, but nothing has really changed about Sonata at all. I mean, if James Storm is trying to make him a better person, shouldn't we see some change in Sonata? He's still the same guy with the same attire. He's just a bad guy now. And then Crazy Steve, I just don't get. I mean, you might like him, and he is a character, but I'm not into the menagerie stuff they got going on. It looks too hokey and ridiculous for me. To me, Brian Cage was the guy that stood out in this match. And that's another person I would tell TNA, sign him immediately if he's not already signed. Because I'm thinking they brought him in just because. But I like him. He really impressed me. It's like a mixture between high flying and powerhouse style, which kind of reminds me of Samoa Joe, but in a different fashion. You know, I like him, and I thought he should have won this match, but Sonata won because he has the storyline with James Storm. What the hell ever. I don't care. Really don't. But, again, good match. And then, of course, you have the stuff with Abyss and Bram. I guess they're going to have another Monsters Ball match. How many Monsters Ball matches have we had this year? Good God. What's with the stipulations? Can we pull back on the stipulations a little bit, TNA? Don't throw them at us for TV's sake. WCW did that in 2000, and it wore out its welcome very quickly. And we got the beautiful people talking about, you know, them interrupting the Gail Kim and Terry Terrell match last week, and they didn't care. So, I don't care. We need some new knockouts, like, soon. Just like we need new tag teams, we also need new knockouts. Get some more people on your freaking roster, TNA. The main event was really freaking good. I feel like Austin Aries and Bobby Lashley went out there and had a legit wrestling match. I like the whole playing on styles, powerhouse versus speed, high-flying wrestler. And I don't know what else to say. It was a great match. They just went out there and tore it down. And again, Austin Aries, if he is not the top talent in TNA, I don't know who is. I feel like next to, you know, Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe, Austin Aries is right up there. And although TNA likes to tell you their top talent is Jeff Hardy, I don't know, he's not. If you want to say anybody is a top talent, if it's not going to be Bobby Lashley, who I still believe is killing it as world champion, he is perhaps the only legit world champion we've had since, wow, it's been a while since we had a legit world champion that wasn't the cowards. You know, he wasn't using underhanded tactics. He wasn't cheating. He was just going out there and being a beast. I don't remember one. It's been a while. Bobby Roode, he was I guess, yes, he was legit. I'll say he was legit, but in terms of strong champion who didn't need to cheat, but he still cheated. So I guess that's why it's so refreshing, and I guess that's why I like him so much, because it's good to finally have that type of champion in TNA, and I think he fits the bill very well. For a big guy, Bobby Lashley is very athletic, very, very. And like I said, good main event. He beat Austin Aries, no big deal about that. Man, this was a good show. Other than the stupid stuff with, the ECW guys versus Dixieland, which I hate. This definitely has to be TNA's, if not one of their best show this year. I hear next week's show is just as good, so I look forward to that. Here's how I'm going to end this. And I'm hoping, Dave Lagana or John Gaborik or somebody in TNA is watching these videos. And I hope you're starting to see where I'm coming from this. If you are going to keep this company running, and if TNA is going to survive, they need to go back to the drawing board. They need to start back from square one and build a new foundation. You already lost AJ Styles. You already lost all those guys. Okay, you can't get them back. They're done. But you can still make this work. But you need to change your mentality, alright? This whole mentality of, we need WWE guys, we need ECW guys, we need WCW guys, we need star power. Thinking like WWE. Get rid of that. As a matter of fact, X Division should be higher than the WWE guys. They should be featured strongly. They should be featured more. They should be prominently placed above the veterans. The veterans are only there to make them look good. But if TNA is really going to make this work, if TNA really wants to establish themselves, reestablish themselves, we need to do that, alright? Don't listen to these fans who are going to tell you, be like WWE, have a star power. No. Forget about them. Listen to me. Okay, listen to me, TNA. You don't got time for that, alright? You need to look yourselves in the mirror and decide right now, you are going to be a wrestling company. You're not going to compete with WWE because you can't. You cannot, you will never be able to compete with WWE. Get it out of your heads. Stop mentioning WWE, because I'm sick of that. You need to be the alternative. Whatever WWE is not, you should be that. Like what ROH is. Somewhat of what ROH is. Maybe find a happy medium between the two. Or maybe even more extreme than what ROH is. You need to get in your head that you are going to be different. That you are actually going to listen to your fan base. Because I'm telling you right now, within these next 2 months, if you at least give your fan base the idea that we're done BSing you, that we're done lying to you, that we are not going to mention WWE, we're done trying to be WWE, and now we are dedicating ourselves to you. If you give your fan base that, I can almost promise you, you'll at least land a TV deal. Because at this point in time, I don't think Spike TV is interested in you anymore. It might be hard for you to find a TV deal nowadays. It was hard for WCW and ECW to find a TV deal. So, I don't see it happening. And this whole argument that, they have 1 million viewers each week. That's nice. So does SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm sorry. I think he has more. Family Guy, The Simpsons. Don't sit there and tell me just because they have 1.0 in ratings, they can find a TV deal really quickly. Don't get your hopes up, okay? But what I am saying is, it's not too late. If they're going to at least survive, they need to make up their minds now that we are going to be different. And from this point forward, we will strive to put on good episodes like this Impact every single week. They might not do it, they might do better, but this is the aim. Regularly, every single week. And that is all I ask for. I don't want you to be WWE. All I want you to be is an alternative, and you'll be good. So thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next week. Your Brother Lexman signing off.